Example 2 requires a little more work. So here we have a security guard for a hazardous waste site is required to make 2 trips around the site each hour. The perimeter of that site is 4,000 feet around. We want to find the total distance in miles that the security guard travels during an 8-hour day. There's a couple of different ways to attack this problem, but what I'm going to start with is first figure out how much he has to travel. How many times is he going around this site? So he has to go 2 trips an hour for 8 hours. So I have 8 hours, and I'm going to do 2 trips, and the word per always implies division. So that's 2 trips per hour, which tells me he needs to make 16 trips. Well, each trip is 4,000 feet. So I will take that 4,000 feet, I'll multiply that by the 16 trips, and I can think of that as 4,000 feet per trip. You don't have to get too involved with how you're setting these up, just realizing that we are multiplying here. And so I take my 16 times the 4,000, and that tells me that we are traveling 64,000 feet each day. Now we need to convert feet to miles, and we can do this with our conversion that 5,280 equals 1 mile. So I'm going to put the feet here below the line this time because I need the feet to cancel. I have feet above the line. If I make this over a 1, it would be above the line. And then I have the feet below the line, so now it can cancel. And then I put 1 mile here in the top, and I have run out of space, but I'll squeeze it in below it. I have 64,000, and this time I will divide by 5,280, since that 5,280 is below the fraction line, so that's a division problem. And I'm just going to use the 12, it's 12.12, and that keeps repeating. So I'm going to make this just approximately 12 miles. So to summarize what we're doing with this unit analysis is our job is to try to cancel out these units that are appearing both in the numerator or the top and the denominator or the bottom. So we're going to need to figure out what conversions are needed. Can you find a chain of events, a chain of conversions that can get you from where you're starting to where you want to end up? Using right now table 2.1, we will add a few additional conversions and reductions in later sections. Then we set up these unit fractions. And the first given information will be a unit fraction with just a denominator of 1, if you want to have that. And then we're going to set up these multiplication problems with the units of 1, where you have part of the equation in the conversion chart from one part of it down in the bottom, and then up in the top you'll have the other part of it. You need to set that up so that the units cancel. Whatever unit you're currently in needs to go below for the next part of the problem. Cancel all of those unwinded units. Anytime a number is above the fraction line, you multiply, and anytime the number is below the fraction line, you divide.